The modern state of Maharashtra is the third largest state in India, both in terms of the area and in population. While modern Maharashtra boasts remarkable achievements in business and industry, cooperative farming, and agriculture, the state's most valuable resource has always been its people. Molders of Maharashtra represent a rich tapestry of human material. There have been famed warriors like Shivaji, who established modern India's first native empire. Scholars and intellectuals who provided new ideas that fueled social progress. Artists who enriched the aesthetic firmament and have given joy to countless millions all over the country. Sportsmen with unparalleled achievements that have brought glory to the country in the international arena. Fiery Maharashtrian freedom fighters like Tilak asserted independence as their birthright, while others like Veer Savarkar were fearless in their fight against an alien empire. Persons like Krantiveer Nana Patil, a lion among fighters, kept the flame of freedom struggle burning bright in the remotest rural areas. But even more remarkable has been the tradition of selfless social service that has tried to liberate the Maharashtrian society from the shackles of ignorance and superstition. Almost 100 years before the rest of the world awoke to the problem, Maharshi Dhondo Keshav Karve fought for women's emancipation. Mahatma Jyotirao Phule established the Satya-Shodhak Samaj, the Society of the Seekers of the Truth, and paved the ground for the upliftment of the silent majority. Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar's role in championing the cause of the Dalits is too well known to need repetition. While the credit for establishing the depressed class mission as far back as 1906 goes to Maharshi Vitthal Ramji Shinde. In Sri Shahu Chhatrapati of Kolhapur, Maharashtra had one of India's most progressive rulers. Maharashtra has also had a most remarkable tradition of saint poets, most of whom came from the non-elite sections of the society. Tukaram is rightly described as the pinnacle of the tradition established by Jnaneshwar. Namdev, whose verses find a place in the Guru Granth Sahib. Tsokhamela from the Mahar community, whose remarkable verse emphasizing the innate purity and oneness of life is a classic of medieval Marathi literature. Says Tsokhamela, "Crooked is the cane, but not its juice. Zigzag runs the rivulet, but its water has no shape. Bent is the bow, but not the arrow. Why then must we be misled by the superficial?" Maharashtra, where the literacy rate is next only to the state of Kerala amongst the major states, owes an incalculable debt to its cooperative education societies, funded, at least initially, entirely by public munificence and managed by a corps of dedicated life members, people of considerable talent who gave up lucrative careers to devote themselves to the cause of education. Among such is the Ferguson College, established in 1885 and having produced a galaxy of India's most illustrious sons and daughters. But few of these societies can compare with the Rayat Shikshan Sanstha, an educational enterprise dedicated to the enlightenment of the Rayat, the rural majority. This great organization operated until 1950, when the government took over the responsibility, the colossal number of 578 primary schools. Today, it has under its wings no fewer than 319 secondary schools, of which 12 are for women alone, 11 teach agricultural subjects, and 18 have technical sections. Its role in higher education is no less significant. It runs 27 colleges affiliated to Poona and Shivaji universities. It also runs 80 hostels for men and women and 8 teacher training institutions. This giant among educational societies supports a staggering 486 institutions in which 260,000 students are helped by a staff of almost 12,000 workers, of which about 4,000 belong to the backward class communities. The total budget is a stupendous 27 crores of rupees. It took a giant of a man to found this work. He was Bhaurao Patil, better known all over Maharashtra as Karmaveer, the one who excels at action. Bhaurao Patil, later to be decorated Padma Bhushan by the Government of India and awarded an honorary degree of the Doctor of Literature by the University of Poona. This is rural Maharashtra today. It is easy to imagine what it was like 70 years ago. In the history of education in Maharashtra, this place, called Kale, occupies an important position. This is where the Karmaveer founded the first institution in 1919. The sapling, which has now developed into the great banyan, that is the Rayat Shikshan Sanstha. It is important to realize that typically the Rayat Shikshan Sanstha started not with a school or a college, but with a residential hostel. This was in keeping with what Bhaurao had learned from his association with Sri Shahu Chhatrapati. But Bhaurao went a step ahead. The Chhatrapati started hostels for all communities, but they were separate. Bhaurao's hostel were nests where birds of all feathers rested. This revolutionary spirit in Bhaurao, his vision of the Indian society as an integrated whole, goes back to his childhood. It happened when he was still a boy, when after a game, Bhaurao and his friends went to have a drink of water. But the villagers would have none of it. Only Bhaurao could drink, not his friends. They did not belong to the higher castes. Bhaurao refused to have a drink. But obviously, the episode left a deep impression on him. Another feature of Bhaurao's philosophy was that typically he chose remote, inaccessible places for his schools and hostels. This is Devapur, deep in the heart of rural Maharashtra. And this one, Gandhi Tekdi. These were nothing but wastelands or barren hillocks. But Bhaurao inspired his friends and young students and helped them to carve out and shape their schools into the magnificent places they are today. Life was never easy, and shortage of funds was a perennial problem. But dauntless Bhaurao went ahead, taking the problems front on. His wife, Lakshmi Bai, although skeptical at first, gave freely, including the married woman's most precious possessions, so that the students could get their daily meal. Environmental protection is our major concern today. But Bhaurao's vision comprehended the problem more than 50 years ago. His thoughts have proved to be an inspiration to his followers and a typical Rayat Shikshan Sanstha campus is nature's delight. Similarly, it is fashionable to talk these days about delinking degrees from jobs or encouraging students to earn and learn. Bhaurao's students always made their own food. Even today, students work in the fields, do everything that a normal farmer does, milk buffaloes and earn their keep. Here is a student studying for his master's degree in commerce. Obviously, he does not stop at reading and is grateful to the Sanstha for giving him the opportunity to earn his learning with pride and dignity. It is an incredible fact that a large number of students in the Rayat Shikshan Sanstha today are, or should we say were, orphans, court committed, as the expression goes. But Bhaurao's philosophy, the candle of Bhaurao's ideals burns as brightly as ever, as these children reflect. Amidst all this humanitarian work, the pursuit of excellence is relentless. The institution started by Bhaurao boasts the finest facilities. In the Rayat Shikshan Sanstha, women work shoulder to shoulder with men and enjoy equal opportunities and privileges. Bhaurao's philosophy reflects the deep influence of his contact with Mahatma Gandhi. In fact, Gandhi was so impressed with Bhaurao's achievements that he clearly admitted that Bhaurao had succeeded in doing what he himself had been unable to achieve even at his Sabarmati ashram. During his lifetime, Bhaurao had close links with most of the great Indian thinkers and social workers. He worked closely with Sant Garge Maharaj, the rural communicator par excellence. He even worked as a salesman, popularizing the new steel plough made by Lakshman Rao Kirloskar, and paved the ground for ushering in the Green Revolution. He was close to Dr. Ambedkar, and indeed his union boarding in Pune was established in commemoration of the historic Gandhi-Ambedkar Accord in 1932. He was a guide, philosopher and friend to one of the architects of modern Maharashtra, Yashwantrao Chavan. His secular philosophy was reflected in his close friendship with Sri Hamid-e-Ali, who was the first president of the Rayat Shikshan Sanstha in 1935. Thus, the sapling planted at Kale near Karad, transplanted to the historic town of Satara in 1924, has developed into a grand banyan tree having 486 branches. 12,000 members of the staff, 260,000 students, and a total budget of 27 crores. But what counts is not just the numbers. It is the new hope that it has given to countless young men and women. The foresight of the great man who anticipated educational and social problems almost 3/4 of a century before they became apparent, and who, true to the appellation given to him, the Karmaveer, one who excels at action, established the magnificent organization, the Rayat Shikshan Sanstha, which has taken the sacred river of knowledge, the Jnana Ganga, right to the doorsteps of the commonest of the common man, the Rayat.
पाद्या जय जय स्वसंवेद्या